Prime James Harden was one of the most unstoppable isolation scorers the NBA has ever seen, and obviously his patented step back move was one of the most unguardable moves in NBA history. So today we're here with my new Prime James Harden build, and what I've started to do when I use these new builds is use all of their signature animations, and of course James Harden pretty much has every single one of his in the game. So in these gameplay clips you will see me use all of James Harden animations besides his escape move, because I like to use Kimball Walker and a spin move. They don't have a James Harden one yet in the game. Now I don't have his hop jumper yet in the game, so I will be using Jimmy Butler just because his creates a lot of space. But I'm not going to waste any more of your guys' time. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We are trying to get to 500,000 subscribers and you can help. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this James Harden build. We're going to be a point guard that's 6'5", 220 pounds with a 6'10" wingspan. I do know for a fact, since you are 220, if you do your Gatorade workouts, for the very first one that you unlock is burly. I think you might get like large after that, so you do unlock those body types very early on if you go with 220. And me personally, I went with a 6'10" wingspan. You could go larger, I think, if you want to, but I went 6'10". Now this is the interesting part about this build. Of course, James Harden was known for his step back and some of the crazy shots that he was able to make, but he also was known for finishing around the basket with some crazy Euro steps, some scoop layups, some floaters, and all that stuff. So when we're doing this build, I wanted to make sure I had a very high driving layup, so we went with an 88 driving layup. That's going to give you like Hall of Fame flow game. It's going to give you that pro touch on Hall of Fame, the scooper on Hall of Fame, some really good layup badges on Hall of Fame, pretty much everything you need. Then of course James Harden can throw down, so we went with an 84 driving dunk here, so you're going to be able to get a lot of good dunk packages and a lot of good dunk animations. If we don't get contact dunks, but if you do get that Mamba takeover, if you throw on that slasher takeover, you will be able to get contact dunks pretty easily. And then I think the last thing we just threw on was like a 30 standing dunk, but this is pretty much going to be your finishing stats. Just able to finish around the paint with layups, dunk the basketball. We didn't go with any post control, which I know James Harden can go into the post, but we can also easily hit fadeaways when I show you guys what we upgraded in the shooting. Now this is actually the first time I used James Harden layup animation, and it was actually kind of nice. You can see we're hitting floaters from like the free throw line, which is always nice. That was a weird kind of like sidestep free throw line kind of floater, which is really nice. But also the straight on one, you create a lot of space and you can activate it for pretty deep, which is something that you definitely want to look out for. But you see, trying to create some space with his animations and try out the scoop layups and stuff like that. Not the best. I don't really like scoop layups that much this year, but I do use them occasionally. You can see right here another floater in the lane, which is pretty easy to make. And of course we had to try out his little Euro step as well. But like I mentioned before, this build, just holding square can get a lot of dunk animations. You can see we're throwing it down pretty easily, because with a 90 mid-range we unlock Hall of Fame open looks, and that's going to be able to allow you to just pretty much make anything that's open. I'm not going to lie to you, all the open shots are extremely easy. Anything in the mid-range, the dribble pull-ups, the post face, the post hop shots, all that stuff is cash. It's super easy to make with a 90 mid-range. And then we go with an 85 three-point shot. We do get Space Creator on gold, which is going to be very nice for this build. We get blinders and Deadeye on gold as well, and Green Machine, so we're going to be able to make a lot of difficult shots. And you guys know me, I like playing a lot of the rec center. I'm going to start playing a little bit more pro-am, so we went to a 90 free throw so we can get that gold free point. So this is the bread and butter of the build right here. You guys can see is the mid-range, the three-point shot. If you play a lot of random rec center like me, it's very crucial that you can be able to shoot the basketball. You can see hesitation right here. The floor spacing is horrendous, but we're able to get the three-point shot off. You can see I'm still using all of James Harden's animations. Little dribble pull-up. You can see the guy had rim take in the middle, so we're able to do that. Another off dribble mid-range right there. But if you also want to play off ball, you can definitely do that with this build. A lot of catch and shoots are very automatic with this jump shot. You can see again, just pulling it with takeover, without takeover, it doesn't matter. You get a lot of good shooting badges on this build. You can see again a little Krabby Patty action right there, just something really slight. And also this jump shot base, James Harden base, you set your feet behind the three-point line like almost every single time. Now this clip right here, this is nice. Look, again, like I said, all of James Harden animations, a little crab, knocking it down with no take. And the jump shot that I am using is going to be a James Harden base with Oscar Robertson and Rui Hachimura for the jump shot releases. You got A+ release speed, good timing stability, good defensive immunity. James Harden base is kind of a lower base, but you do release the ball kind of high. So I like this jump shot a lot. So far, it's been pretty good. And you guys know when it came to James Harden, he was a triple-double machine for a while. So we had to make sure that his pass accuracy and his ball handle and all that was pretty good. We went with a 76 pass accuracy. I know you could say James Harden probably has like high 80s or maybe even 90s for this, but for the builder, this is what we're gonna go with, and it really does a solid job. Then his ball handler, we're gonna take to an 87. Like I showed you guys before, we do unlock all of his signature animations, but we also get that Kimball Walker escape, which is really solid. And honestly, I think 87 is a pretty sweet spot. Like, you don't really need a 92 ball handle in my opinion on a build like this. And then we went with speed with ball with a 75. I've been liking using that pro dribble style, so you could honestly possibly go lower, but if you want to use that Magic Johnson, which a lot of people do like, I would just go with the 75. Now you already know how this build dribbles and how it kind of moves around with his animations, but the passing is actually very underrated. With the John Moran pass style, you actually zip passes across the court. Now this is actually insane. I had to clip this one. Look at this left hand sling to the dot, just a perfect pocket pass. Now this is going to be the controversial part. A lot of people said, especially at this time, that James Harden did not play a lot of defense, but this build's going to have some defense on it. All right, so with the interior is very cheap on guard builds if you guys haven't caught on yet. So we're going to go with a 70 interior defense. We're going to be able to stop them pretty easily. Our perimeter defense is only going to go to a 58, which is nothing too crazy. And to be honest with you, that might be good for a James Harden, but that is also going to unlock that off-ball pass on bronze, which actually does help a lot, especially off the ball. Obviously, I mean, that's what the badge is for. And then me personally, I just went with a 60 steal because I see a lot of the times I get really good animations with that interceptor on bronze. Again, I play a lot of rec center, and of course, I don't think you're gonna be able to guard ball as efficiently on this build. You could probably do it a little bit in the park, but if you're playing off ball, having that bronze interceptor is definitely gonna come in clutch. And then we went with a 68 block, so we're gonna be able to get a lot of good chase down animations as well. We don't get anchor on this build, so having chase down on bronze is gonna be nice. And then again, like I said, I told you guys that James Harden was a triple double machine, so we had to make sure we had some defensive rebound to get that bronze rebound chaser. We take that to a 60, and our offensive rebound is just gonna be at a 35. Now, a big thing I've learned with having builds that have like low perimeter, just low defense in general, is how to play a little bit on the off-ball handle, which you'll see a lot here. You can see right there kind of predicting the pass, but you'll also be able to get a lot of stops if you could just kind of predict where people are going. You can see right here, I'm even getting some on-ball steals. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen a little bit. Now, this is what I'm talking about right here. I knew he was going to go to the left and cross over, so I'm able to get a stop right there, a little stop and pop shoot, the three-point shot. And again, I know he's going to cross over, so I'm just playing his off-ball hand, little dribble pull-up. We knocked that down too. Then lastly, our physicals. Again, I've been doing this recently. I've just been using an 81 speed, and my acceleration just goes to a 73. So we get silver speed booster, which isn't anything too crazy, but it's going to be good enough to just dribble and ISO pretty well. We're going to take our strength to a 65, so we can get fearless finisher on gold, which is a very nice badge. And since we don't have contact dunks, we're just going to take our vertical to a 78, and then we're going to max out our stamina all the way to a 99, and that's going to finish off our build for our James Harden. And then you can see our shades of nothing too crazy, and I hate the build name. We've got CJ McCollum, Kitty Smith, and Kobe White, but you can see we made a 3-level threat. When you make a well-rounded build this year, that's pretty much going to be it every single time. And also, if you go to the Toronto Raptors, you will be able to get number 13 if you get a custom jersey. Now, right now, I do have this build at a 92 overall, and this is what the stats are looking like. And I know a lot of people usually ask me how you would go about upgrading this build. To be honest with you, the first thing that I did when I got it to a 90 was pretty much just max out all of my, shooting stats and stuff like that, and of course my playmaking. I do believe I kept my driving layup at an 86, maxed out my driving dunk, and defensively I maxed out the block interior, and I believe my steal off the bat. I didn't touch any of my strength to 90, and then I just maxed out the rest of my physical. The next thing I probably will do on this build, to be honest, is probably max out my strength so I can get some more of those like fearless finisher badges unlocked. But this is what my build looks like I said, at a 92. Here go some of the badges that you guys will see in the videos. It's very simple to get these 2-step badges and the spin cycle badges and stuff like that. We already unlocked Mini Magician, which was pretty easy. We got Claymore, Bunny, Flow Game. Like I mentioned before, it's gonna be very nice. If this build, if you want to kind of spot up, you could do that too, because you get that Claymore badge. You got the catch and shoot on gold if you can get it there. And of course, like I said, you get open looks on Hall of Fame, which I haven't even unlocked yet. And once we max out our strength, we're gonna be able to use physical handles, which is gonna be nice because I know a lot of people are gonna be pressing on this build. We got Green Machine, Guard Up, Space Creator, Blinders, Deadeye, like I said, lots of good badges, even Limitless Range, which you guys saw me shoot a couple of. And to be honest with you, I've said this before, I think getting badges is super easy, so it's just all up to your preference. Like I use Precision Dunker, Whistle, even on silver. Like I think badges are so simple, I might as well just keep Whistle on silver. And then of course Deadeye, Acrobat, Guard Up, just badges that don't pop up super often. Deadeye kind of does, but if you want to use like Acrobat and Guard Up, I would definitely recommend it, just because those are badges that you want to have if you just have to use those. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know what you think about the build, and if you ended up making it, let me know as well. well. Let me know any other builds you guys want to see this year, because I have a ton of open spots now that I want to use for just kind of unique builds. So if there's anything interesting, definitely let me know. Make sure to go ahead and drop the like button. Until next time, it's been your boy Dignified. I'm out. Peace.